We are on a journey to watch all of the Star Trek franchise for the very first time. And today, we are watching Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home.
So, you were at Berkeley?
I was not.
Alright, this is a big one, Alex. Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. This is the last TOS cast thing we're going to watch for quite a while. Yes, I know there's 2 more movies, but we're watching in release order, so we're going to start Next Generation after this. This is pretty wild.
Yeah, we've had a few like, oh, this is it, but this actually feels like this is it because we're jumping to the next generation after this, and probably not seeing this crew for a while after that. I mean, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's been an amazing ride. In terms of Star Trek as a whole, we're just getting started, but this first chapter essentially coming to a close here. I'll be very excited whenever that is in the future that we get to come back for Star Trek V. But let's stop getting too ahead of ourselves. Let's jump in. Yeah, that probably would have been around when this movie came out.
Is that when a ship would...
The ship that exploded.
Oh, yeah.
That was nice of them to put that in there, though.
Harv Bennett, my dude. This is the conclusion of the trilogy, right?
Hey!
Oh,
back
what?
again. Who?
Boo.
Wait, is that his mom? I think it's... Wasn't his mom named Amanda?
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't know if that's the actress though that played her or not. To answer your question, yeah, yeah, it's a trilogy. That's what everyone has said.
So this is the good sequel trilogy.
It appears to be a probe, Captain.
Hey, San Francisco, we're back.
Oh, here's our recap.
Using that security footage.
2, 1.
Oh, God.
And then what if it showed they somehow also had security footage of Christopher Lloyd? Get out of there!
To fully understand the events on whichever
Hold the image.
it is necessary
Hold!
to review.
Not only is he responsible for the murder of a Klingon crew, the theft of the Klingon vessel, see now the real plot and intentions. Kirk was secretly developing the Genesis torpedo, conceived by Kirk's son.
Oh, shit.
We demand justice!
Klingon justice is a unique point of view, Mr. President. Sorry.
Here he is.
Oh, no, he's about to get destroyed.
Your vessel did destroy USS Grissom. Your men did kill Kirk's son.
There shall be no peace as long as Kirk lives.
Captain's log, stardate 8390. We're in the 3rd month of our Vulcan exile.
Oh, shoot.
Is that the Klingon ship?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that Spock?
Yeah.
He just sees him.
No! We did all that to save you, damn it.
White queen to section 5, grid 6. Queen takes knight, rook takes queen. White pawn to section 5, grid 7. Pawn takes rook.
Yo, relax.
How do you feel?
I do not understand the question.
What is it, Spock?
It is her!
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Spock, they have sacrificed their futures because they believed that the good of the one was more important to them.
Humans make illogical decisions.
They do indeed.
That's so awesome. It's like from one episode of TOS in, 1968 or whatever to almost 20 years later, reprising that character.
Yeah, her agent's hitting her up. They want you to do Star Trek again. Do what? Remember Star Trek? What?
This is goodbye.
David died most bravely. I thought you should know. Good day, Captain Spock. May your journey be free of incident.
Live long and prosper, Lieutenant.
Interesting that she's just staying there. She's like, I'm not facing the punishment.
Perhaps we could cover a little philosophical ground.
I did not have time on Vulcan to review the philosophical disciplines.
It's me, McCoy. You really have gone where no man's gone before.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls.
I don't doubt it.
I got Spock back and they still won't give us like the full you know, like TOS feeling just yet. It's like, come on.
This is the President of the United Federation of Planets. Do not approach Earth. All power sources have failed. All Earth-orbiting starships are powerless. Save yourselves. Avoid the planet Earth at all costs. Farewell.
Hit a bit heavier if we saw some panic, like on Earth, like at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're suggesting the transmission is meant for a life form other than man?
At least a possibility, Admiral.
Don't they say like dolphins are like the second most intelligent or something? Or just
Yeah, it's probably either dolphins or whales. Probably whales. Oh, there you go. Humpback.
And humpbacks were heavily hunted by man. They've been extinct since the 21st century.
Ugh.
Start your computations for time warp.
No.
Bones, you come with me.
We're at a time travel.
We're gonna go to the past. Oh, they did do it in the series.
That's true.
Yeah, they're going back to 1986, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
What if they went like really far back for no reason? We're traveling back to 300 BC.
But sir, if we're stuck there, there's absolutely no technology.
What if their ship like can't make it back? Then they have to get the Enterprise. Why would the Enterprise be around in 1986? Oh. This is trippy as hell.
They're going full art film with this one.
Yeah. Leonard Nimoy's like, I'm doing whatever I want.
I believe we have arrived at the latter half of the 20th century. We are probably already visible to the tracking devices of the time.
Yeah, they're just gonna think you're aliens.
Yeah, in an alien ship.
We have a serious problem. Would you please come down?
Wait, did they ever tell Scotty if they were time traveling?
Because of dilithium crystal.
Oh,
they're Klingon crystals.
Is there no way of recrystallizing the dilithium?
Sorry, sir. We can't even do that in the 23rd century.
True.
Ugh.
San Francisco. I was born there.
Well, that was a nice random nugget of backstory for Sulu.
It's a foregone conclusion. None of these people have ever seen an extraterrestrial before.
Tell me you two are fighting again. I thought you made...
Oh god, this is gonna be so weird.
Everybody remember where we parked.
You know, it's like we have seen them on Earth-like places before, but not like, you know, in detail. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Just like one location.
Dumbass on you!
My god.
They're still using money. We gotta find something. And the rest of you break up. You look like a cadet review.
They don't know what to do.
I'll give you $100.
Is that a lot?
Does it mean exact change?
Excuse me, sir. Can you direct me to the naval base in Alameda? It's where they keep the nuclear vessels. Nuclear vessels.
Excuse us.
Oh, excuse me. We are looking for nuclear vessels.
Can you help us?
Please, we're looking for the naval base in Alameda. Could you tell me where the nuclear vessels are?
And you know, he's Russian too.
Yeah.
Let's just push the button. We'd be better off dead. 'Cause
My god, this is so wild.
you're blue too. We're all bloody wetland.
Your use of language has altered since our arrival. More colorful metaphors. Double dumbass on you.
Nobody pays any attention to you unless you swear every other word.
It's so true.
My name is Dr. Jillian Taylor, but you can call me Jillian.
Seen Child's Play?
I don't know. The original? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Pretty sure that's the mom from it.
Since the dawn of time, men have harvested whales for a variety of purposes. 100 years ago...
Oh.
This is mankind's legacy. Whales hunted to the brink of extinction.
Oh, God.
That's rough. Ugh.
Come on. Enough.
Look at it.
To hunt a species to extinction is not logical.
Whoever said the human race was logical? Now, if you'll follow me, please, I'll introduce you to the Institute's pride and joy.
Definitely some political messaging here in this one.
I thought it didn't exist until, like, the past 10 years.
And now, here's a much better way to see George and Gracie. Underwater.
Think Spock's gonna mind meld with the whale?
Oh, that's gotta happen.
He's not there. He's gonna jump in the tank.
Oh yeah, you're right. You see him floating down? Good catch.
And then start again.
Oh, Kirk's looking for him.
In the ocean, the other whales will pick up. People don't know what purpose they serve.
Maybe he's singing to that man.
Oh no.
What the hell? Excuse me, wait right here.
See, we gotta be careful, dude, with that headband. Getting all wet.
Yeah.
All right, who the hell are you? What were you doing in there?
Yeah, speak up, though.
Admiral, if we were to assume that these whales are ours...
He keeps calling him Admiral.
I don't know what this is all about, but I want you guys out of here right now, or I call the cops.
I assure you that won't be necessary. We're only trying to help.
The hell you were, Buster. Your friend was messing up my tanks and messing up my...
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty lenient not calling the cops already, immediately.
Came all the way down here just to jump in and swim with the kiddies, huh? What about him?
Him? He's harmless. Back in the 60s, he was part of the free speech movement at Berkeley.
I think Leonard Nimoy was actually in that.
So, you were at Berkeley?
I was not.
You're not one of those guys from the military, are you? Trying to teach whales to retrieve torpedoes or some dipshit stuff like that?
No, ma'am, no dipshit. We may be able to help you in ways that, frankly, you couldn't possibly imagine.
You guys like Italian?
No. Yes. Yeah,
no.
Or did he even know what Italian was?
Yeah,
I mean,
not.
you know what I mean? I would wonder, I mean, they're still on Earth in the future, so
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, the cuisine has all stayed the same, or if it's, you know, with the United Federation of Planets, who knows how much other food, you know, that they've come across.
Yeah, true.
I've tried to clear things up, Professor Scott. I explained that you'd come all the way here from Edinburgh. They don't seem to know anything about it. I find it hard to believe that I've come millions of miles. Thousands of miles. Don't bury yourself in the park.
That says that out loud.
Kiwi 204, isn't it?
Right on, fly.
Oh, here and there. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Do it.
How do you fly it?
Yeah, show me as if I've never flown it.
Hello, computer.
Just use the keyboard.
Oh. You know, they also didn't really discuss, you know, like, hey, don't go, you know...
Messing anything up?
Yeah.
Yep, they do not care.
Transparent aluminum?
That's the ticket, laddie.
Just created a new substance.
Is that worth something to you? Or should I just punch up clear? How do we know he didn't invent the thing?
Yeah, well, maybe they're just dismissing everything as a time loop paradox.
Yeah.
Whatever we do is actually what already happened.
Do you trust me?
Implicitly.
Uh-oh, Kirk's turning on the charm.
Great choice. And you, sir? Like that, too. Thank you.
He's back. He's back.
I could take those whales somewhere where they'd never be hunted.
Where could you take them where they'd be safe?
Well, it's not so much a matter of a place as of a time.
You're from outer space.
No, I'm from Iowa. I only work in outer space.
Don't tell me they don't use money in the 23rd century.
Well, we don't.
Oh my god. That's great.
How do they get in there?
Yeah, everything that this duo does has just been off screen.
How long? Depends on how much shielding there is between us and the reactor.
Hey man, though, we can't complain that they're not all doing stuff, though. I mean,
They're all
literally...
doing stuff, and it is interesting. I
Yeah.
love to see it.
Classic video game NPC.
Just walks in a circle.
Yep, doesn't see you, can't sense you.
Just has that V.
Yeah, the cone of vision.
Yeah.
My transporter power is down to minimal. I got to bring in one at a time.
Take the collector. You go first.
Person left, they're gonna think he's a Russian spy.
Yep.
No.
Interesting beam effect in this movie.
Because it's a Klingon ship.
Oh, good call. Okay.
Scotty, now would be a good time.
Kick off!
Let's take it from the top. The top of what? You play games with me, mister, and you're through. I am? May I go now?
They're like, this guy is good.
If you don't lie on the floor, I will have to stun you. Go ahead.
No.
Must be the radiation.
No one cares.
Not my job.
It's like, well, now they have a Klingon phaser.
You know, the aliens are talking about today, how they confirmed that there's aliens. Maybe they're talking about this.
Oh. Did you see that thing, the video of the Mexican government showing the alien body?
Yeah,
it looks ridiculous.
Most stereotypical looking thing ever.
Like, clearly not real.
Yeah.
It's going slowly, sir. It'll be well into tomorrow. That's not good enough, Mr. Scott. You've got to do better.
Do you think they were inspired to do this because of Back to the Future coming out the year before?
Maybe, I don't know. But they seem like they wrote this as a trilogy, but it's like I don't think they planned it out that far in advance.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I
don't know.
I'm just assuming Back to the Future was a giant hit, and I could just see them being like, you know, studio executive, do a time travel flick.
Did Sulu ever come back, or has he been in that helicopter the entire time?
I think the last time we saw him, he was like asking that guy the questions, right?
Yeah, so this is the next day, so he's just been hanging out. He never came back to the ship.
Shut up!
Oh my god!
So can you feel being transported?
Hello, Alice. Welcome to Wonderland. I'm glad you're here, but I must admit you picked a hell of a time to drop in. Oh, take it easy.
One of Kirk's and Bears. This isn't my actual ship. This is a different alien ship. You know? I don't want you to think that this piece of garbage is.
Hello, Doctor. Welcome aboard.
Admiral, are you there?
I'm glad they didn't do some type of over-the-top, like, oh, like she faints just because of his ears.
Yeah.
I've located Chekhov, sir. They're taking him to emergency surgery right now. He's not expected to survive.
Oh.
What?
Don't leave him in the hands of 20th century medicine.
Oh, God.
How do they get those? I don't know.
What's the matter with you?
Kidney dialysis.
Dialysis? My God, what is this, the Dark Ages? You swallow that. And if you have any problems, just call me.
Who are you? Why aren't you masked? Who are these people?
I don't know.
Into that little room, please.
What is that? You a gun?
Can't believe this movie's a real thing.
Scotty, beam me up.
Yeah, pretty close. Oh!
You need me.
Ready, sir.
Take a seat. Now, Mr. Sulu.
I guess they really are. Kirk's really just like, well, guess I'm taking this woman with me. I mean, no choice at this point.
Admiral, I have a signal closing in on the whales, bearing 328 degrees.
Oh, no. Been free for one day. Already being hunted down.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
They really had to make the most like stereotypical whalers.
Exactly like Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Or Captain Ahab. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Whoa, that's a big ship.
Pretty ambitious special effects here.
Admiral, there be whales here.
Whales just...
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Okay. They're in some horrible, distant future where everything's messed up because of what they did.
Switch to manual control, Mr. Sulu.
It's like a horrible alternate reality. He's like, the only solution is to kill you, the woman they brought. Well, how would that fix it?
Find the ship.
Oh, wow.
Man, Sue got out of there right away. He didn't wait for anybody.
There you go, Kirk. Let's go.
You all ahead. And close the hatch. Admiral, you'll be trapped.
He'll be all right. He'll find his way out. I feel for Shatner in that scene. Just drenched in water.
Be horrible if it's like 2 extra centuries of pollution killed them instantly. They had no time to adjust. How's it doing? Oh, right now
That does look like the Doomsday Machine thing.
Yeah, doesn't it? Right now it's saying, "Oh, my bad, bro. I'm leaving. Just haven't heard from you in 200 years."
So I thought I'd come and destroy the planet. But what is this thing? I mean, it must just be like an alien craft, I guess.
Yeah, and I'd like to know what they were saying to each other.
Someone please help Shatner up. It doesn't have to be floating anymore. Do just all whales know about this?
Yeah.
But I guess if it's communicating with them, they would understand what it's saying at least.
Yeah, maybe that thing's filling them in.
Nice.
Did Free Willy come out around this time?
No idea. Never saw it.
Same. This is very unsafe.
He's like, get in here, you Vulcan bastard. Hey!
Captain Spock, you do not stand accused.
I stand with my shipmates.
Because of certain mitigating circumstances, all charges but one are summarily dismissed. Disobeying orders of a superior officer is directed solely at Admiral Kirk. It is the judgment of this council that you be reduced in rank to captain.
What do you want? Anyway.
The command of a starship.
Glad she's gotten acclimated with her future outfit.
And we are forever in your debt.
Wow, Starfleet doing something good. Rare Starfleet W.
I'm so happy for you, I can't tell you. Thank you so much.
How long do you think it's been? Do you think she's lived there for like a few weeks?
You're going to your ship, I'm going to mine. Science vessel. I got 300 years of catch-up learning to do.
You mean this is goodbye? Like they say in your century, I don't even have your telephone number.
See you around the galaxy.
I like it. I appreciate the restraint. More realistic to the situation. Oh, yes, here we go.
Father, I opposed your enlistment in Starfleet. It is possible that judgment was incorrect. Do you have a message for your mother?
Tell her I feel fine. Live long and prosper, Father.
Live long and prosper, my son.
So great, dude. So great.
Not that shot. That was
Yeah,
weird.
still got the
the weird Photoshop. In there.
Yeah.
What?
Oh. Put an A there.
We've come home.
That was a great shot. Like it's heading towards the Excelsior, but it goes like over it.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Sulu.
And they'll have the old uniforms, right? Right?
I'm curious what you think.
I can't believe this is a real movie. I appreciate the restraint to hold the time travel thing until the fourth movie. Could have easily been the first or the second, especially, or the, because in the 80s, I feel like, you know, big time travel go to the current time, especially for like cheap B movies was like a regular thing. Like it's a sci-fi epic, but like they always go to the, like whatever current time it is and just hang out in the woods or the forest or wherever they're at. So I appreciate them not doing it to the fourth one. It's just funny that the year after Back to the Future comes out, this one comes out. So I'd love to dig more into the story of that. But overall, like we'll get into that in the discussion video. We had our action movie, we had like our adventure movie, and this feels like our goofy comedy movie with a little bit of activism in there that was you know, I had to shield away from when they were showing it. But I don't even know what to think about this movie.
Obviously, I know that Star Trek did do the time travel thing before, so they didn't pull it out of thin air, but I would be surprised if Back to the Future did not have any type of impact on why they did this story. You guys can let us know. Maybe I'm just completely, you know, connecting things that aren't there. Maybe time travel was popular in movies at that time in general, besides Back to the Future. I don't know. But that's just what it felt like to me. Yeah, I think you really hit on the head there. All four of these movies are almost like they're in their own genre, all inside of Star Trek. You know, the first one being the most sci-fi, I feel like.
Yeah, like the 2001, like, ooh, look at this, you know.
And the action with Khan, and then the adventure in Search for Spock, and now this. Honestly, it felt like a comedy for a lot of it, but not in a bad way. I mean, there are certain things about it that, like, yeah, you could even say was like almost felt like a parody of Star Trek in some ways, but not in like a meta way or anything cringe, but just like seeing our characters in so many wacky situations. I personally, it's very difficult for me to like a fish out of water type of story because I feel like it's like one of the biggest, most like overdone, overused tropes in movies, especially in like blockbuster type movies. But I think this was done really well. I would say the stuff with the crew in the 80s San Francisco was like my favorite stuff of the movie. And there's other stuff that I really enjoyed that we'll get into, but that actually worked for me. And I was scared that it wouldn't, but I mean, the actors here are all just so great that it's hard to not, you know, find everything they do hilarious and charming. So,
and we got return of classic flirty Kirk. A little out of touch, but still hilarious to see. Yeah, I think the fish out of water stuff works best with Spock.
I also loved that this situation was like a very believable way to get every member of the crew involved. That's something we've been begging for the entire time. So like we got to see each member of the crew get their own role, add something to the movie that only they can do, and it worked perfectly. The movie, Jillian was like our only new character in the movie, and she played her role just fine, but it didn't, unlike the other movies in my opinion, it didn't get in the way of any of the crew having their screen time. She just was a nice addition to it, unlike how I felt about the two characters from TMP, Ilea and Decker, and then also Savick and David, you know, I felt took away from our other crew members being able to have screen time. But in this case, that wasn't. So I really enjoyed that. I want to say before I forget, with Jillian, so I just think it's funny. She's played by Catherine Hicks, and then Stephen Collins is who played Decker in the first movie, and those are the two leads of the show Seventh Heaven. They play the parents in that show. So they both were in Star Trek movies a few years apart, and then Seventh Heaven started in '96. So then, like a decade later, they starred in that show together. I wonder if they ever talked about that.
Yeah, like, oh, we were both in Star Trek. I'm sorry, in what? I'm still convinced that's how it went verbatim with Spock's mom when they asked her to come back for that one scene. It's like, for what?
Amazing to have her back, though, and her scene was great with Spock, and then looping around at the end with his dad to tie it up.
And then he finally answers the question, tell her I feel fine. It's like, I think that might have been one of my favorite scenes, is the three computers and how fast the Vulcan computers are, and just doing three things at once.
In terms of stuff that didn't hit quite as well for me, I get that the political messaging was there. I don't feel like they really went that deep into it. Like, I feel like it was just one scene of like, hey, look, killing whales is bad. Anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah, the whole story felt like, oh, there's some probe, just like, it didn't really feel like a conclusion to the trilogy. It just felt like they just wanted to do something with time travel and activism. Wrath of Khan and Search for Spock felt like, they're interconnected. And this one being like, okay, the Voyage Home, now they're going to go on an adventure that's going to take them back home. The first, 10 minutes of the movie is like, yeah, they're back, and they're under trouble. Oh, a probe came out of nowhere. So it didn't really feel like a conclusion to the trilogy, if that's...
I don't feel like this was... I don't understand why people call it a... In my mind, the fifth movie must be so different, or like maybe it's set further in the future or something, because I can't think of any other reason that this would be considered part of the trilogy except for that it picks up right after Search for Spock ends.
Yeah, it's called The Voyage Home because they're not at home at the end of Search for Spock, so it makes it feel like it would be a part, but no, they kind of resolved that in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, they do get home at the end, and then they say we're home when they see the Enterprise, but it does not feel connected to me in any way to the last two movies. I much so think of the last two as more of a part one, part two, and then this being its own movie, essentially, because it's so wildly different.
Yeah, just wrapping up the loose ends to get to the probe coming in. Like, yeah, this is the situation, and then them saving the Earth, or, court lets them go.
Yeah, and to be fair, I have no problem with that. I liked the story and everything, but from everyone describing it as a trilogy and this being the end of it, that I just didn't feel that watching it.
Yeah, I would like to know what... I mean, I get, we don't need to know, but, my curiosity is, what's the relationship between whales and this probe thing?
Yeah, what is that probe? They said, oh, maybe it's here because it lost communication. It lost communication 200 years ago, and it's just now here conveniently when you're coming back to Earth.
It takes a long time to travel, maybe? It just conveniently shows up at that time.
Yeah, but it's like, what is it?
Has it been traveling for that 200 years since they lost contact? Is it just a really slow-moving probe?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, I guess.
It's a vehicle to get the going here.
But again, that goes back to how I felt about the political messaging is, it was just in there, and then they, didn't... And, look, I'm glad this wasn't some huge political movie. That's not what I wanted, but it's just interesting to me that it's, one or two scenes of it. But the whole inclusion of the whales and everything I thought was cool. It's, something different, nothing I would have ever guessed, to be kind of the plot device of the movie. It is interesting to think, oh, well, because humans are idiots, we made whales go extinct, so now we have to go get some from the past to save ourselves. I like that idea. You don't have to go, super into it for it to work, so...
Yeah, maybe don't think too much about it.
Yeah, I think the movie's it's just fun. And it gave me what I asked for in terms of the crew getting a lot more stuff to do and a lot more time. So yeah. I'm not really gonna, I don't really have much to complain about. I guess the worst case scenario would have been if it was the same as the other movies, but not as good. But that wasn't the case. It was something completely different. So it's even hard to compare it to the other ones.
Yeah.
I feel like I like all the movies for the different stuff they offer.
Yeah, because a lot of sequels are just all right, it's either the same thing, just more, or just way out of left field. And I think this is way out of left field, but in its good own way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd rather not have it, another Wrath of Khan where it's another villain from the past. I appreciate it going in a completely different direction, and if every movie's like that, that's great.
And a lot of it, to me, honestly, felt most like a Star Trek TOS episode out of all the movies, with the stuff that we got and the tropes that were in there.
Yeah, exploring around, not knowing what's going on, trying to fit in. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, that's it for sure. And I also like just the little additions, like them swearing a bunch, you know, just like adding little things in there and Star Trek stuff we've never seen before. Nothing really, I feel like almost all the humor landed. Like, I can't think of anything that was like, oh wow, that was a miss.
Oh, yeah, this is the funniest movie.
Yeah.
Laughing my ass off. Scotty with the plexiglass guy, great. Bones with all his medical stuff. When I laughed the most, or I thought was funny, was in the very beginning where they're like watching the footage of what happened, and it's like the Klingons like, all right, pause there. The video just keeps going. Pause there.
Yeah.
Like, just little dumb stuff like that. I think is hilarious.
Yeah, and yet again, the Klingons appeared in every movie for that one scene,
and they just get destroyed in court.
Yeah.
And I like the whole they try to like frame it like, you know, to their narrative, like, oh, this is what happened. And they're like, nah, that's not what. Sarah comes in, destroys them, and
yeah,
it's over.
Again, a little nitpick. Would have been nice to see Sarah and Amanda in the same scene, but whatever. It's just something small. But also loved all the effort they put into different species in the background. And anytime they show Starfleet, you can tell they really want to expand that. You know, and we'll see how that looks in Next Generation. One thing, this is kind of offbeat, but one last thing I'll add. It would have been nice, because the whole movie when they're in modern day San Francisco is basically them like shitting on what was then current day. Like, you know, their medicine, the way they talk, the music they listen to, like they're just like shitting on everything. It would have been nice if there was one thing that like they found from that present time of the 80s to be like, oh, this is something we don't have in the future. This would be useful. You know what I mean? That's something small. It didn't need it, but I feel like that would have been nice as a little bit of balance, just to be like, because like we get it, the future is better. But I thought that would have been interesting if they just had like one thing that was like, oh, we don't have this in the future. What's this? We stopped using this or whatever. That would have been nice to see. But
yeah, there's whales.
Whales, true, yeah, because we killed them.
No, the whole thing was everything we're doing now is bad. I mean, bad, you know, bad.
Yeah.
Need to be better.
Plus, it's relatable. Like when you're watching something current day and it's making fun of current day stuff, you're like, oh, I know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's relatable. And even us 40 years in the future can still kind of relate to it, to a lot of it, you know? So, yeah, I get it. Overall, it was good.
Space, the final frontier.